You want to talk about a deck with one card combos? Then you are talking about Mathmech. This card is notorious for its ability to set up incredible boards using just a singular card while having a shitload of extenders to set up pretty much whatever the hell you want, which is absolutely amazing. So this is my version of the Mathmech deck that I've been playing in Platinum, of course. Platinum a little bit different to Diamond. We're very nearly back into Diamond. We're breezing through Platinum using decks like this. So the idea behind this particular Mathmech variant is very similar to my previous ones. We are playing the triple Cosmic Cyclone because people in Platinum be fucking wildin', right? Lots of back row down here, and even in Diamond there was a lot of stun towards the end of the season. So I'm expecting back row decks to actually be seeing a bit of an uptake as we're trying to compete against Snake Eyes in non-traditional ways. Because right, you're not going to find a combo deck that can beat Snake Eyes. So if I can play a control deck, right? So Cosmic Cyclone is going to be pretty useful in those stun type matchups and these back row matchups. Labyrinth, Trap Tricks has been one recently, which I've been a fucking fan of. I've got a Trap Tricks video coming out very, very soon for a new version of Trap Tricks that I am fucking in love with. It's so good. But anyways, I digress. This is the deck here. I am going to show off a one card combo as per usual. This time we're going to be talking about Mathmech Circular, beginning to finish only Circular, seeing what board we can set up, usually basically terahertz as well as a full power super factorial. So stay tuned for that. Then we're going to do a quick replay or two that I was playing in the Platinum rank. Then we'll do a live game. Should be a blast, right? So if you're interested in this new style of content, of course, you can make sure to leave a like down below and let me know down below what you think about this particular format, if you got any issues with it or anything like that. But more importantly, make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch more. Let's get into the combo. All right, one card beginning to end Mathmech Circular combo. Now, of course, this is ignoring the possibility of potential extenders in your hand. Much like in this hand, we have the Sign Up Mania to grab us basically any Cyberse extender we want. So normally you can go even further than what we're going to show here. But again, in keeping with our last videos, I want to keep it restricted to one card combos only so that you can get a full grasp of how they actually work. If we do another Mathmech video soon, I'll show off a one card Firewall Defensor combo as well, so stay tuned for that, of course. But for now, we're going to focus on the main man himself, Mathmech Circular. We're going to use his effect. We're going to send Mathmech Sigma from your deck to the graveyard to special summon Mathmech Circular from your hand. Now, you're going to use the effect of the Sigma that you just sent to the graveyard. You're going to special summon it out to your field. That's going to trigger your Mathmech Circular to search your deck for Mathmech Super Factorial. So that's your trap card. One of your main forms of interruption is the Super Factorial here, and it is really good in the Snake Eyes, and in one of the replays is going to show you why. This card's fucking baller right now. But either way, we're going to go into now Mathmech Alimbertion using our 2 level 4s. Now we need to do Alimbertion, the reason being that if Mathmech Sigma were to leave the field, it would be banished because we revived it off its own effect, right? So by instead summoning out Alimbertion and using it as material, it doesn't get banished. Not only that, we can then detach 2 materials here to search with Alimbertion to grab us the Mathmech Diameter, the missing piece to our Super Factorial. We need 3 different Mathmechs, and one of them should be Diameter because of its bonus effect that we'll get to in a minute. So now we're going to go for the Diameter play here, activating or normal summoning, and on normal summon you're going to activate to bring back a Mathmech from the graveyard. What is worth noting, and something that even I often get wrong, is you should summon Alimbertion underneath one of your extra monster zones. Now that doesn't matter too much for this particular combo because we're not using any extenders, but if you do have an extender, you really want Alimbertion underneath one of the extra monster zones. Either one is fine. But let's not worry too much about that right now, though. Now we're going to go into the Splash Mage using our 2 Mathmechs. It doesn't really matter which ones you use. Ideally, you want to keep Alimbertion on the field just for a little bit longer. It's useful for when you're going into like a Singularity lane, but not too useful here. So we're going to use now the Splash Mage to bring back a card from the graveyard. We're going to bring back Circular here. Then we're going to use the Circular to go into Link Decoder. So Link Decoder basically is a Link 1 that when used for the Link summon of a Cyberse that has 2300 or more attack points will bring itself back from the graveyard. So we're going to use our Splash Mage and our Link Decoder. We're going to summon out our Transcode Talker, which has 2300, right? So that means our Link Decoder is going to come right back from the graveyard, giving us that extra extender. Now we can use the Transcode Talker to bring back from the graveyard our Splash Mage right here. And this is where you normally basically make the choice between Singularity and Terahertz. Because we're not using any extenders, we're just going to go into Terahertz, right? If you have even a singular extender, which we do, then you want to go into Singularity, and then you can set up Singularity and Terahertz. But let's just do this for now. We're going to use these three as material here. There is your Terahertz right there. You want to use your Terahertz, you want to send to the graveyard the Deceive Worm. Some people send Dotskeeper to the grave to like extend your combos, and that's neat sometimes, but most of the time the value of the Deceive Worm simply can't be overstated. So we're going to send the Deceive Worm, and just like that, you've got a full power super factorial. You have your infinite impermanence, of course, like just whatever hand traps or whatever you've got. So super factorial of full power using circular, diameter, and sigma. You've got your Terahertz, which is basically 2 interruptions baked into one, and the combo potential from here in terms of what you potentially have as extenders is fucking incredible, right? And that's where the deck really sort of shines. It shines in the number of extenders it can play. So we're going to go into our opponent's turn here. So they're going to go for Dark Magical Circle. That's okay. We can let that resolve. Grabbing Dark Burning Magic. That's fine. And they're going to summon a monster. They're going to go Monster Reborn. They're going to try and steal our Transcode. Well, that's a perfect opportunity to use the Deceive Worm, right? We don't want to be dealing with that. Let's fucking negate that shit. So you've got the Deceive Worm in Graveyard, which is a spell and trap negate so long as you have a link 4 or higher monster. They're going to set a whole bunch of cards. Then you can use your Super Factorial. Super Factorial going to bring back the 3 Mathmechs from the graveyard that we sent there. Right? Uno, Dos, and Tres. Then we can use these 3 to go into your pre-Mathmech Laplation. Laplation then detaches up to 3 materials to send a card from your opponent's hand and their back row and their monster zones to the graveyard for each material you detach, right? So we're going to detach 2 because they don't control any monsters. We're going to send a random card from hand, like that. We're going to send this to the graveyard. And then we also have our Terahertz, which can at any point during our opponent's turn send the Aggregator from our extra deck to the graveyard. And then the Aggregator will activate to negate a card, right? So there's another negate. So that's the idea, right? And then you, of course, have fucking insane damage on the Terahertz. You can go to like fucking 20,000 attack points right here. So that's the idea. That's the 1-card combo. Of course, there is a lot of different ways of doing it. Some people like to do it with Signet Conflict. Some people like to do it in a whole bunch of different ways, right? But that is a very reliable 1-card Mathmech Circular combo that you can build upon using whatever else you have in hand if you happen to have a decent hand, right? That's it. Let's get into the replays. All right, this is our first replay here. Of course, we've got that small world on deck, which does act as our bridge to get into our Mathmech Circular. So we're going to be doing a combo very similar to the one that I just showed you. However, this time we have an extender and we're not being restricted. So we're going to start off with the regular circular play that I just demonstrated, grabbing our Super Factorial directly from deck to hand. Now we're going to use these 2 for the Alimbertion. Alimbertion detaching 2, going to grab us our Diameter. Diameter then, when normal summoned, is going to bring back the circular from the graveyard. We're now going to link those 2 into Splash Mage, very similar to how we did before. We're going to speed this up a little because most of this combo is the same. We're going to now go into the Link Decoder. This is where we go for the Gachiri, just to get it out onto the board. I do summon it, and this is like a note on what I said before, where you want to have a monster under the extra monster zone, and this is why, right? So instead of doing Alimbertion, we're going to use Gachiri. Ideally, it would have been this guy, but it doesn't matter. So now we're going to use the Link Decoder coming back from the graveyard. Transcode Talker then going to bring back the Splash Mage as well. We can use all 3 Link monsters for Firewall Dragon Singularity. Now we can use the remaining 2 monsters we have on board, like I was talking about extenders before, into the G-Golem Crystal Heart. That's going to trigger Singularity to bring back Splash Mage from the graveyard. Gachiri then, on this case, makes our Singularity unaffected by our opponent, and then the Splash Mage comes back. Crystal Heart brings back Transcode as well. Then we can use these 3 for the Terahertz. Now we got Singularity and Terahertz and a Factorial, sending the save from setting 3 and passing. Now what is worth noting here is that your boy was low on the timer. Your boy was on a Discord call, he was distracted, so we're low on the timer here, which is, you know, a little bit unfortunate. They're gonna go DBL Star here, and this is the power of Super Factorial. Look at this shit. So we're gonna Imperm here. He's actually going to use the Betrayal to negate that, and I knew he would, because I'm sort of thinking he's banking on this DBL Star to make a play. So we use that to bait out the Betrayal in the graveyard. He sets the Sinful Spoils just so we can flip up Super Factorial. Summon 3 back from the graveyard. We're going to summon Circular, Diameter, Sigma, Exceed summon in the Laplacian. Laplacian activates detach 3, getting rid of the card in hand, getting rid of the Abel Star, and getting rid of the macro simple spoils. We're going to use Singularity, bringing back Transcode Talker, which makes our Terahertz untargetable as well because they are co-linked. They're going to add Poplar to hand here. Poplar then going to be able to special summon itself out from the hand here. I know Snake Eyes doing Snake Eyes things. We would have seen that one coming. Grabbing the Field Spell. Field Spell then going to activate, going to pitch a card into their back row. We're going to go Deceive Worm to negate that Field Spell. That is a one of, sir, and I'm not letting you generate that kind of advantage. So we're going to get rid of the Field Spell. The Wanted in Graveyard going to banish itself, going to try drawing an extra card, maybe trying to get to the out. He's going to link 1 into Linkuriboh. Now they're going to go for the Snake Eyes Poplar in the back row, placing it down, summoning another Poplar so we can link again into Nightmare Phoenix. We're just going to let this one go because whatever, it's just back row. Then they special summon Protos. Now, if I was a little bit quicker on the trigger, what I would have done is I would have went with Dark Fluid, sending Aggregator to the graveyard to negate this card before it could even activate. Unfortunately, because of the timer, I was unable to do that, so we had to just use Singularity, sending it back to hand. He declares Dark, which is annoying, but all we lose is Terahertz, because Singularity is unaffected by opponent's monsters effect this turn because of Kichiri. And from here, we pretty much just mop up. We're going to go Circular, sending Multiplication to Grave, Multiplication, but boosting up the attack points to Singularity to 8,000, bouncing back to Phoenix, 85 to the face. Just like that. Easy game. We could have had an even better position if we used Terahertz to negate the Protos before it did anything nasty, but like I said, didn't even matter. We were so far ahead, we just absolutely crushed them. Next replay. Alrighty, replay number 2, going second this time. Our opponent's going to set 2 and pass. Again, very, very common thing at the minute in the Platinum Ladder. A lot of people playing sort of back row heavy decks. And look at our hand. Look at the amount of hand traps that we have. We've called by preparing for the Maxi. We have the Ash Blossom. We got Veiler. We got all kinds of shit here getting ready for our opponent to try to counter us. In the main phase 1, we are of course going to start with the main man himself. We're going to start with Circular. They're going to go called by on the Sigma though, which is rather detrimental. So we're going to go for Silent Manning, dropping the Super Factorial to grab ourselves Firewall Defensor. Now this is something I wanted to show off because the Defensor line of play is entirely different. We're going to use these two to go into Splash Mage now, and the Firewall Guardian then going to bring itself back from the graveyard. So basically, Defensor, when linked off in the Linkuriboh, summons out the Guardian. Guardian then will use it and something else, probably the Linkuriboh, to go into Splash Mage, and Guardian, when uses Link Material, comes back. So basically, a normal summon Firewall Defensor gives you 3 bodies. Itself, Guardian 1, and then Guardian 2. So that's really super high value. We're going to bring back the Defensor from the graveyard. We're going to go into Alan Burschen here anyway. Alan Burschen then detaching 2. Going to search our deck for a Mathmech card. Now what is important to note is that we have already normal summon, so Diameter would not have been our play. It likely would have been addition or subtraction. But that's fine. It gets negated anyway. That's a-okay. So we've been negated a few times here. So we're going to go for Equation now instead. Equation going to be able to bring back a card from the graveyard. And it's just, again, showing what I want you to do is flip the tables around, right? And imagine that we were going first, playing through all of this interruption, right? We're going first, we're playing through all of this, and it's as if nothing, right? You just can't stop this deck. You just can't do it. It's just too strong. We're going to go into the Dark Fluid into the battle phase, sending Multiplication to Grave, boosting itself to 55, Multiplication boosting it up to 11,000, and then taking game. That shows you the crazy OTK potential of Mathmech as well. And again, like I said, flip that around. Imagine we're going first, right? And they're just playing those cards as hand traps, right? They just have a call to buy life for our turn. Let's think of it like a DD Crow, right? Let's say they had a DD Crow instead of that call by. Let's say they had a fucking, obviously, Imperm. They had Max C, right? Being able to set up basically the exact same board through all of the interruption is pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty dope. But anyways, let's get in and we'll try 1, maybe 2 live games depending upon how long they take. Alrighty, let's get in here. Going first, that's handy. I'm gonna keep it a $150. I was playing this deck through Platinum. Again, like I said, we're in Platinum 2. We're fucking breezing through the Platinum rank. We're basically not taking any losses no matter what deck we play. It's fucking great. Well, occasionally we do get hit with like crazy matchups. Like I said, we get hit using this deck, a crazy fucking Trap Tricks deck. So I had to take their idea, I modified it, improved upon the design a little bit. That Trap Tricks deck is going to be coming out soon. That was fucking fire. This is a very interesting hand. There's definitely a lot that could be done here, for The only question is how specifically we want to go about it. I'm going to try my luck with Small World here. I'm going to see if he has like an Ash Blossom or something. Hopefully it's Max C. Okay, it doesn't seem to have Ash. I feel like he would have used it there if he had it. Small World is a big Ash target. So we're going to use, for people who don't really know how Small World works, basically you reveal a card in your hand. You look for a card in your deck that shares one thing in common with that card. So in this case, I'm going to choose Parallel Exceed because it only has one thing in common. It's a Cyberse monster. Then you get to add from your deck to your hand a monster that has one thing in common with your new target. In this case, Parallel Exceed. So now I need to look for a card that has one thing in common with Parallel Exceed. That's going to be our Mathmech Circular because they only share this Cyberse typing. Everything else is different. So we're going to grab the Circular. Guardian is a decent normal summon. Microcoder is an okay extender to have in hand. So this hand in general is pretty solid. Let's get started here. We're going to go for Mathmech Circular. We're going to drop the Sigma from the deck to the graveyard just like before. Again, this deck is a big one for the Methodists, the ones who like to have the refined, elegant, perfect combos. Mathmech is the deck for you because this deck just... It knows its guns are good and it fucking sticks to them, right? It sticks to its guns like no deck I've ever seen. So we're going to go now for Circular. We're going to get searching our deck for Superfactorial. Hell yeah. Grabbing the big guy. Perfect. Now we're going to go for the Alem Mershon. Right here. Again, onto the extra monster zone if you can afford it. Absolutely. So we've got the Alem version here. Going to add a Mathmech card from deck to hand. So, I'm going to drop these two. Now, my only thing is whether or not we normal summon the Firewall Guardian or not. I guess Diameter is probably just better anyway. I don't know. Maybe that kind of sucks. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Diameter is still probably just better than the Guardian. I could go for, like... We really need Guardian Engrave, though. Yeah, let's just, okay, whatever. Let's just go Diameter. I was sort of trying to think of a fancy way around it, but again, Mathmech don't do fancy. It does fucking brute force. It, again, loves its combo, sticks to its combo. We're going to go Diameter then, bring it back any of our other Mathmechs. Doesn't matter which one. We're just going to use them as extenders anyways. So it all works out. And now, even if we get nibbed, even if we get hit with, like, whatever bullshit they want to throw our way, it's not going to matter because we have in our graveyard all of the Mathmechs that we need there. Things like Bestials and things are nowhere to be seen because of Snake Eyes, so we're much less worried about the potential of a Bestial. Now we're going to go for Splash Mage here. Splash Mage going to grab us a Circular. Love to see it. He's got a little something. I don't know what that is. It's kind of annoying me that he's like not using it, whatever the hell it is, but you know, it do be like that. So now we're going to use this guy into Link Decoder. Normally, you would then use the Link Decoder and the Splash Mage to go into your, what would you call it, transcode. We're actually going to use the Microcoder in hand, right? Because we can use this guy later on and get this revival effect later. So we're going to go Splash Mage here. We're going to go Microcoder in hand. So this is where potentially running something like Psynet Conflict could be deemed interesting. I think it's a little bit bricky. I don't really like it too much. So we're going to go Microcoder here. Microcoder gets searching. We're just going to grab from our deck the Psynet Mining. Oh, it's Coup Clock. Oh, it's nothing. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you did that. We're going to grab Psynet Mining, I guess. Mining in this scenario just acts as a generic extender, so we're going to use Transcode now. We're going to bring back the Splash Mage, just like we did before. Here we go. Now we're going to use our Link 3, our Link 2, and our Link 1 to go into the Link 6 Firewall Dragon Singularity. Use 2, and we got that decoder on deck, sir. Now we're going to put it above the Alem version, and that part is kind of important. It's not make or break, but it's decently important. And then Link Decoder can still use its revival effect at this part of the combo. So the reason we did it in that order is because Microcoder can only be used in hand as... There we go. That is the Nibiru. Okay. Kind of sucks. It kind of hurts my damn feelings a little bit. But it's not the end of the world. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. It is absolutely fine. I wish I was playing Link Spider right now. I wish I was playing Link Spider. You're always just like a card or two shy in your extra deck. You always feel like you're missing a card. We are going to go for maining here. We're going to drop the Guardian for the maining. Again, Nibiru, kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination because of the number, because we have the super factorial and everything all set up. So we're Gucci, we're fine. We're not even worried about it. So we got the Fencer we could just add one of these extenders. Do anything fancy with them? I don't think we can do anything fancy with them. Yeah, if we had Link Spider, we would be able to do something here. But I don't have Link Spider right now. I'm just going to grab the Circular for next turn. And we just chill on Super Factorial. He's 2 cards down in hand. So, like, I think we're in a really strong spot. I'm not going to lie. I think we're in a decently strong spot. So 4 cards left in hand here. We've got an Ash and we've got the Super Factorial, which is basically like 3 interruptions, right? That's what this card does. Battle Phase, taking out the Nib token right away, not wasting any time. I guess he's playing Labra if we know that. So all of his plays, I suppose, are it's just gonna be setting cards, right? Ooh, Nadir Servant. That, sir, looks like an Ash Blossom to me. That looks like an Ash target to me, Chief. I don't fucking think so, buddy. God damn. Alright, setting a card. Setting 2 cards. Oh, damn it. I should have flipped out Super Factorial earlier. Damn it. We could have got something out of that. Okay, that's fine. It is what it is. I should have flipped it up when he had 1 card left in hand. I played it just a second too late. My bad. I didn't think he was going to set everything in his hand, but I guess that makes sense. I thought he was going to like leave 1 card in hand for like a hand trap or something. But nope. Everything on the field. All hands on deck. Laplacian coming out here. We're going to use Laplacian. We're going to detach 2 materials. Uno and Dos. Really should have detached Sigma, I think, actually. So sending the Biru. We're going to send this dork here. Ah, welcome lab. Ah, funny that one. Funny how that one works, huh? Funny how that one works. All right, let's go for our Circular. The big man himself, the biggest, not only the biggest combo starter, but also the largest recovery play in the deck. So, do with that information as you will. Summon Limit. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all in fucking Platinum are wild. Then again, there was a lot of guys in like late season Diamond that were playing this card. So, that's kind of annoying. Ooh, Punishment. Intis go kind of hard. Intis do go kind of hard. I think I'll protect him. We'll detach the Sigma. We'll protect the Circular. He does still get to use the Intis, but what's he going to use it on? That's the question, right? What's he going to use it on? I guess we didn't snipe the right back row. We sniped the wrong one. Okay. That's fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to keep it relatively chill. I am going to summon Sigma from the graveyard. I'm going to summon this man in defense. We can only attack with 1 monster this turn, and that is our second summon. We have hit our summon limit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab Equation from our deck, which is why I did this. I wanted the Equation. And we're going to swing for our 15. And we're going to call it a day here, I think. Summon Limit's rough. Summon Limit is very rough. Again, should have sniped earlier. I could have got rid of that card. But it is what it is. What are we going to do? Cry about it? Main phase 1. Setting a card. Okay. You're making me nervous, man. You're making me nervous. Alright, drawing a card. Drawing Small World. That's a good draw. Oh, that might be the way. That might be the one, depending upon what this back row card is. If it's just another Floodgate and does nothing, then great, right? So now we're going to use the Maxi. We're going to reveal the Gichiri in our deck. We're going to be able to grab any Cyberse monster from our deck that we want. I'm going to grab, I think the Addition here is the best play. Okay, so let's do the mass here. Let's do the mass. Whatever you bring back gains 1,000 attack. So we bring back... probably just another Circular, right? Circular, 25, 15. So 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. Right. Hang on, I was special summon this card, but this card cannot attack. Fuck. Okay, is there an extra deck monster I can go into? Let me have a look here. You can make a second attack each battle phase. Okay. So summon 1, and then you bring back Transcode. That's summon 2. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go Crystal Heart. Activating the Crystal Heart. Gonna grab ourselves Transcode. So these guys are now both untargetable, and I'm pretty sure that gives me lethal damage. Because you can attack 34 and 34. Yeah, okay, right. Fuck your summon limit. We're out of here, baby. Alright, that was a weird and wacky showcase of Mathmech. Again, getting hit with the nib, getting hit with floodgates, getting hit with whatever, and still making it out just fine. So again, we did misplay a little bit on the Super Factorial. You really want to use it while they still have a card in hand. That was my bad. I didn't think he was going to set his whole fucking hand, but it was a lab player, so I should have done that earlier. Whatever. Let's get another look at the deck. The types of deck you see down here at Platinum are very different than what you're used to seeing in the Diamond rank. The competition is definitely less stiff, I'll say that for sure. Competition's less stiff, but this is a deck that's been famed for its performance in Diamond and Master ranks for months now, right? Basically, since Circular came out, this deck has been a rogue or tiered contender at all stages. I think even right now, it's like tier 3 or tier 2 or something like that. So Mathmech is a fucking awesome deck. Really, really good. Again, if you're in Platinum, you're in Gold, you're in whatever, this deck will absolutely carry you if you follow through on the combos that I was showing you. And it's a great way to learn how to play around and through Interruption, because you're going to need to really use your imagination sometimes and use your creativity to play through certain types of interruptions and play through certain types of boards. But yes, this is the deck. We keep this one nice and similar, nice and simple, sorry. I know a lot of people like to muddy their decks up by adding in a whole bunch of things. We're basically keeping it as standard as possible. We're putting in one of as many of these different like extenders as we can get our hands on. A lot of them are hard once per turn, so I don't want to have like a bunch of like hard once per turns in my hand. So we're playing, you know, like the 1 addition, 1 subtraction, 1 add ignister, 1 dot skipper, all of these. You could even look even further into the likes of Infraflyer or such, but I don't think that's overly necessary. But yeah, basically any Cyberse extenders fit in here. If you don't want to play the Firewall package, you don't have to. I know that some people don't really like this package too much, and it's because it takes up your normal summon, which I kind of get. But at the same time, like, normal summon Defensor is 3 bodies. It is an incredible combo. It does basically everything Circular does, and you know why? Because it gets fucking Circular. So I just look at Defensor as another way of getting Circular to my hand. But yes, that's the deck. Those are the games. Those are the replays and combos. So if you got this far, make sure you like the video and subscribe to catch more stuff as it comes out. I'll not waste any more of your time. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.